Jalen Hurts reveals context of long meeting with Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown ahead of Giants clash. Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts has opened up about the private meeting he held with teammates A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley, describing it as a productive and necessary discussion designed to strengthen team chemistry before their divisional matchup against the New York Giants. The conversation, which reportedly took place a day after the Eagles' first loss of the 2025 season to the Denver Broncos, has drawn attention from both fans and media. Speculation had grown that tensions between Hurts and his top receiver, A.J. Brown, had been simmering beneath the surface following several visible moments of frustration on the field. Hurts, however, made it clear that the meeting wasn't about drama, it was about accountability and communication. Speaking to reporters during practice on Tuesday, Hurts confirmed that the three offensive stars had indeed sat down together after the Denver defeat. He explained that the purpose of the meeting was to get everyone aligned, recalibrate expectations, and make sure the offense operates as one cohesive unit. "It's really just about ownership," Hurts said. "We're all competitors. We care about the same thing, winning. So we wanted to make sure we're all on the same page about what that takes." A meeting of leaders. The inclusion of Saquon Barkley, Philadelphia's new offensive weapon this season, made the meeting even more notable. Barkley joined the team in the off-season after years with the Giants, and the Eagles coaching staff has been vocal about his leadership qualities and work ethic. Barkley declined to provide detailed insight into what was said during the meeting, but he assured reporters that the conversation was constructive. "It went well," he said. "That's between us, but it was all positive. It's just teammates talking, figuring things out. Nothing more than that." According to reports, the three players spent over an hour discussing offensive rhythm, trust, and execution. Sources close to the team said that all three expressed a desire to improve communication, both on the field and off, and to ensure that frustration doesn't spill over into visible tension during games. The context: struggles on offense. Despite a strong start to the season, the Eagles' offense has looked inconsistent over the past few weeks. Star wide receiver A.J. Brown, typically one of the league's most dominant playmakers, has recorded only 19 catches for 194 yards and 1 touchdown through 5 games, numbers well below his usual production. Meanwhile, Saquon Barkley has struggled to find his rhythm in the ground game. Against Denver, he managed only 6 carries for 30 yards, marking his lowest output of the season. Overall, he has 83 rushing attempts for 267 yards and 3 touchdowns, which, while respectable, falls short of expectations for a player of his caliber. Hurts himself has faced criticism for his passing accuracy and decision-making in critical moments. The loss to the Broncos was a particularly painful one. With 4 seconds left in regulation, Hurts attempted a desperate Hail Mary that fell incomplete, sealing the defeat. But earlier in the game, a far more makeable opportunity slipped away, a deep pass intended for A.J. Brown that sailed just over his fingertips, which could have been a 60-yard touchdown. Sirianni comes to his quarterback's defense. Head coach Nick Sirianni was quick to defend his quarterback and receiver following the loss. Addressing the media on Monday, Sirianni said the incompletion to Brown wasn't necessarily Hurts' fault, instead crediting the Broncos' defense for disrupting the play. "They disguised coverage really well," Sirianni explained. "Sometimes it's just the defense making a good play. We have full confidence in Jalen and A.J., they've proven what they can do together time and time again." The coach's comments seem to reinforce the idea that the Eagles' offensive struggles are less about chemistry and more about execution against strong defenses. Still, Hurts and Brown's body language during games, including a few sideline exchanges caught on camera, has fueled talk of underlying frustration. Hurts takes accountability. Rather than deny the friction outright, Hurts chose to acknowledge that such emotions come naturally in a competitive environment. "It's football," he said. "There's always going to be emotion. But that emotion comes from a place of passion. A.J. wants to win, Saquon wants to win, and I want to win. That's what it's all about." He added that the purpose of the meeting was to channel that passion productively. "We talked about how we can help each other, how we can make the game easier for one another. That's the kind of conversation every good team has at some point." Hurts also praised Barkley for stepping into a leadership role so quickly, saying his presence helped bridge conversations between different offensive units. "Saquon brings a veteran mindset," Hurts said. "He's seen a lot of football, and having his voice in that room means a lot." Barkley's take: "We've got the pieces." Barkley echoed that sentiment when asked if he believed the offense could regain its explosive identity. "We've got all the pieces," he said. "It's just about putting it together. We've had drives and halves where we look unstoppable, and then we've had moments where we get in our own way. It's about finding consistency. The veteran running back also dismissed any notion that the Eagles' locker room was divided. There's no beef, no drama, he said. We're a close group. Conversations like that meeting are what make teams stronger, not weaker. Turning the page. As the Eagles prepare for their upcoming game against the Giants, Barkley's former team, the spotlight will be on how the offense responds. Philadelphia remains one of the NFC's top contenders, but their success will depend on whether Hurts, Brown, and Barkley can translate their off-field discussions into on-field chemistry. Hurts appears confident that they will. We're competitors, and we've been here before, he said. Sometimes you hit bumps in the road, but what matters is how you respond. We had an honest talk. Now it's about execution. A potential turning point. Meetings like this can often serve as turning points for teams that find themselves slightly off track. By addressing issues early and directly, Hurts, Brown, and Barkley may have prevented bigger problems from developing later in the season. For Hurts, the takeaway seems simple. Leadership means taking initiative, even when conversations are uncomfortable. As a quarterback, it's my job to set the tone, he said. That means communicating clearly, taking responsibility, and helping the guys around me be their best. Heading into their divisional showdown, the Eagles will look to prove that the meeting wasn't just talk, but the spark that reignited one of the league's most talented offenses. If the trio of Hurts, Brown, and Barkley can rediscover their rhythm against the Giants, the meeting that began as a quiet discussion behind closed doors may be remembered as the moment that refocused Philadelphia's championship ambitions.